Well, this ought to be interesting. I don't know how well you will show up in this, even though we are out in what's that area called? Ultima Thule. That's it. Yeah. So this is the Omicrons, the gathering, and this story just guts me. So if I start crying uncontrollably or something like that, it's not my fault. Okay, N7000 would laud you for your service to the cafe. And, let's see. War greetings, Halo. This unit commends you. I commend your fulfillment of objectives related to the care and feeding of Grebulov customers. Pescatarian menu items, in particular, have met with high approval ratings. Current mission is proceeding, as audio recordings indicate your people would say, swimmingly, ha ha ha. Jammingway says, we've learned much from the Corellians and the Grebulovs, and the Last Dregs is now the site of joyful cultural exchange. But don't take our word for it, come and see. We should keep an eye on that one. They've already polished off 3 bowls of soup today. Soup! Well-fed Grebulovs provide important mission data. Soup-related sacrifices must be made. Yes, they must. Oh ho, you like making customers happy? Admit it. This unit merely acknowledges customer satisfaction as more conducive to mission objectives than mutual hostility. Speaking of which, Patron 005 and Patron 006 should be closely monitored. Try to change the subject on me, will you? Wait, who are Patron 005 and 006? Hail, newcomer patrons. I, Jammingway, would like to personally welcome you to the Last Dregs. Can you tell me a bit about your home star? Analyzing metaphysical waveform. Nihilism protocols activated. Beep, beep, beep. It has shared in our truth and shed the self. This is well. The universe, too, is finite. Only in death may we embrace the true infinity. Did you just assassinate my barista? Why would you do that? Were situational analysis complete. New customers are of the Nibirun civilization. Nibirun. This society eliminated concepts deemed unpleasant by organic life forms such as war and death. In doing so, individuals attained physical immortality and a state of unified comprehension. Their projections were insufficient, however. The Nibirun people only realized that the elimination of strife would similarly destroy their sources of joy when it was too late. At that point, they jointly decided it would be preferable to return to non-existence. Pardon this unit for a moment. Halting shutdown processes. Troubleshooter initialized. Repair features and self-determination algorithm restored. But I don't know if you remember, it's quite some time ago, probably for you, but there's the very last dungeon. It's called the Dead Ends, where um, Medion takes you around to different civilizations that she had destroyed, and this is the last one that you encounter, where they basically create this god that goes around giving them all very pleasant deaths. Why have you returned this being to the finite? The golden mercy of Ra-La was so close at hand. That god was Ra-La. It's the final boss. Sweet mother, this is terrifying. Cultural exchange be damned. We can't let them near the other patrons. On the contrary, this unit believes that exposure to other civilizations may benefit these customers, and invites them to tour the local simulations of dead worlds. To be certain, the nature of other civilizations is a long-held curiosity of ours. It may be interesting to discuss their inherent futility. That is the spirit. All societies in Ultima Thule are subject to unique manifestations of despair, so this unit recommends comparing each to the tragic perfection of the Nibirun. Tragic perfection. How do you like that for a concept? We are in favor. To arrive at philosophical resonance with such beings will fill much of the time before the blessed obliteration. Let's see, which one would you say? I'm guessing what the hells. You have already demonstrated to the peoples of Ultima Thule that despair can be overcome. Projections indicate that, once restored, hope is not so easily extinguished. So you think they'll be able to help each other, like you say, like you saved M104 just now? I suppose I should be glad that they took you up on it. Those Nibirun make my fur stand on end. I don't want them anywhere near Elysion. It would be nice if we could cure them of their ennui, of course, but I cannot see how. The Nibirun are the last dead civilization with sufficient data for replication. Should it prove impossible to turn them into satisfied customers, the probability of further developments on Elysion is low. Ooh, that's frustrating. Why must they be so much scarier than the other two? I retract my complaints about our soup budget. Well, what if we invite patrons from other civilizations instead? The A, for instance. There's no reason we have to build all of our customers. Build all of our own customers. And they seem rather thoughtful. At the very least, it would make for good practice in philosophical debate. This unit cannot guarantee that any amount of practice would prepare you to treat with the Nibirun. However, it agrees that inviting local life forms to the Last Dregs would be good for business. I guess we're headed back. Current objective: convince Perspective A patrons of the desirability of Last Dregs sustenance. We'll search for potential customers in this vicinity. Can you ask around at the Scary Stone Circle where everybody stares into the sky? Thanks in advance. A venue for replenishment and discourse, you say? Once we visited similar establishments. They are memorialized today through the existence of our restaurant, where we traditionalists gather to restore our ether and vent our petty miseries upon one another. Your civilization is young, so perhaps you do not yet understand that one such location is more than enough. Even the most transcendent minds can only withstand so much vacuous discourse. Let's hide the stealth things for now. The corporeal beings derive meaning from patronizing this cafe, you say? Felicitations. Personally, I have long since parted from such material concerns in favor of staring contemplatively into the abyss. To begin chasing hopes and dreams now would be to betray my very principles. What is your report, Halo? One would think they could at least show a bit of respect to you, of all people, out of self-preservation, if not else. Or the the probability of further developments on Elysion is now infinitesimal. No, I refuse to give up. Their terrible attitudes are all the more reason to make them see the light. Between the three of us, we will get them to enjoy themselves. Implicit threat acknowledged. Initializing joint operation protocols. However, this unit must acknowledge the non-zero probability of failure. In such a scenario, the odds of ever securing the patronage of the A and the Nibirun must be revised to hopeless. Projections indicate that the business may not survive this outcome. You're as bad as they are sometimes. Do you know that? Halo, you mentioned that the A once offered you food, did you not? So they don't consider themselves beyond the concept of repast. There must be a way to build on that to make them understand. You interrupt my staring once again. Curious. Is this a physical compulsion? Jammingway. No. We're simply seeking an enlightened opinion. You seem very focused, so surely none would be better suited to answer a few questions. I suppose that would be within the bounds of my principles, and as time is inherently meaningless, you will not cost me what might otherwise have been what might have mattered. Pray wait a moment, and I will see if other rationally minded individuals are interested in this diversion. Jamming way, huzzah! I leave the debating to you, Halo, to see if you can stimulate their inquiring minds enough to draw them to the cafe. Oh, this is going to be one of these where you get interviewed and you have to respond, and it increases or decreases their opinion. We're stimulating the A. Truly, there is not like a rousing examination to take one's mind off the ceaseless torment of existence. Should we start with the 350,173 questions or so? As is customary. $350,000? I was thinking more in the neighborhood of 3. I see that in my cognitive agitation, I neglected to account for your base intellects. Carry on with your paltry queries, then. Do you have an interest in gustatory sensations, or do you enjoy a good meal? I'm tempted to text you right now and ask, should we try and talk like the A do, or should we just go with normal conversation? Let's go with a normal conversation instead of trying to be goofballs like they are. Excuse me. Do you enjoy a good meal? Quite. Many traditionalists consume sustenance, and I partake in the occasional absorption of quality ether at the restaurant myself. As transparent line of inquiry. Oh, sorry, a transparent line of inquiry. We have little need of another restaurant. I told you this much already. Oh dear. I fear you misunderstand what we mean by the term. The food at the Last Dregs offers is an entirely different experience than ethereal absorption, I assure you. This unit fears the question may have been excessively simplistic. Data on the A indicates a clear preference for mental stimulation via theoretical concepts. I guess I went the wrong way. The diminutive being suggests that gustatory sensations are a primary consideration for your... Oops. I guess I'll have to look at that in just a second. Biology is not the only determinant of a good life, you know, or perhaps to truly comprehend our argument requires tasting for yourselves. No, we better go with the fancy talk. Biology is not the only determinant of a good life, you know. It is your contention that regardless of their evolutionary purpose, gustatory sensations provide intangible yet perhaps psychological or spiritual benefits? Intriguing. Let's see, what did they say before that I skipped past? The diminutive being suggests that gustatory sensations are a primary consideration for your establishment. Biologically, however, these are not more than a secondary mechanism to prevent primitive organisms from starving to death. Explain this contradiction. but ultimately unconvincing if your aim remains to entice us to your cafe. The perception of sustenance is necessarily determined by the nature of one's gustatory and olfactory organs. So to assume that all beings would experience the same positive outcomes is preposterous. That is true, nevertheless. Oh, did we screw up again? Sorry, did I screw up again? Intellectual stimulation is present, but curiosity levels are not yet critical. This unit proposes additional discourse. Oh, we did good. We did better than the last time. Though I acknowledge there is some logic to your argument, we are perhaps at an impasse given our form's lack of physicality. Nevertheless, I am curious to know what manner of taste you would present us with had we gustatory organs. This top one they're just going to not like because it's too base, so a taste of your former lives as corporeal beings, perhaps. Indeed, it is rational to assume that as corporeal beings with unique gustatory organs, we too once found certain sensations particularly stimulating. If your cafe is capable of providing knowledge of such long-lost sensations, we would welcome the experience. If anyone can do it, we can. We served a variety of civilizations already with great success, I might add. Operational success imminent. Allied units must remain engaging for critical final phase. The preparation of historically accurate sustenance will be no simple task, yet the hirsute being insists on accompanying it. Is this compulsion intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? Let's see, is it as our deepest and most heartfelt desire to see hope restored to the universe? Or my journal doesn't suggest that making you happy will help progress my current quest. I forgot to hit the J key. I don't know what the journal says. I guess we go with the other one. It is our deepest and most heartfelt desire to see hope restored to the universe. How very primitive of you. Very well. I am convinced that your establishment will offer an authentic experience of the shackles of the flesh. Heartfelt, it says. How charmingly irrational. Nary a mention of tangible impact our hope would have on the surrounding dynamis. There are those too, of course, but most of all, what we want is our patrons to enjoy themselves. This unit does not disagree with the assessment of the organic life forms as primitive, though it is rich in the irony given the irrationality on display at present. In any case, mission objective complete. Allied units' performance will be logged as capable. We see that you indeed had few questions. When may we partake in sensory experiences? Well, first we need to prepare a full course for gustatory experimentation. Experimentation, you say? That sounds most agreeable. If this unit may suggest it, Halo's flesh would make a suitable medium. Oh, I quite agree. No one has tasted more tastes than the intrepid Halo. Her palate is refined, and her bravery unmatched. She will be the perfect candidate to try any and all dishes we prepare. And you need only scan and transmit the sensory perception data to the A's consciousness. Okay, so does this fit you? Would you be the one trying all the different dishes? Halo gets to be the guinea pig. It is unclear at present what their people may have eaten in their corporeal days, but we can begin by finding out what sort of tastes they enjoy, and then refine the recipe from there. Regardless, we shall need to fire up the ovens immediately. Last I checked our inventory, the kitchens are well stocked with vegetables, fish, and Charlayan cookbooks. The probability that the A's historical diet was identical to that of the life forms of Aetherius is astronomically low. This unit proposes incorporating ingredients from other worlds as well. Scanning flavorsome category for ingredient data. Ping. Calcite deposits near the ship Ragnarok may contain mineral content suitable as an additive. Data indicates the organic life forms love additives. Don't hesitate to taste test in the field. Remaining allied units should proceed to the Last Dregs for recipe analysis. This unit will answer any further customer questions. I'm just going to teleport over there. So you better turn back on stealth mode. Oh, we don't need that. The A have thus far asked 81,120 questions. This unit can feel the last remnant of its patience slipping. A timely rescue. Chemical composition of ingredients within expected parameters. Then let the experimentation begin. That's a scary looking fish. Not half bad, if I do say so myself. Dig in, Halo. Initializing progressive scan of gustatory inputs. Perfectly ordinary pasta, seemingly innocuous hamburger, and terrifying, vaguely terrifying fish. We are going to go with the hamburger. Fellow fan of McDonald's. Let's see. You are struck with a sudden certainty that Jammingway either borrowed or stole this recipe from The Last Stand, although the locally sourced flavoring adds an unexpected spiciness to the medium rare meat inside. Your tongue is now tingly. I don't know if you like pasta. It's not sushi, but we'll go to the vaguely terrifying fish. Was that fish staring into your soul just now? Hopefully not. In any case, its pallid flesh must have thoroughly absorbed the additive alien flavor. You certainly tasted something. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We'll go for the pasta too. The pasta is not unlike that of Aetheris, although the otherworldly flavor adds a tang of complexity. As for the A, surely any gluten-tolerant life form enjoys a massive bowl of carbohydrates. Gustatory data received, transmitting to patron 007 and patron 008. So these are the flavors of which you speak. Thank you for helpfully categorizing each as sweet, salty, sour, bitter, or savory. I fear I'm quite overcome by their medley. It is impossible to say whether the sensory assault is identical to what I might have once felt when consuming sustenance. Yet it is a useful reference to ruminate over nevertheless. Then it was well worth the effort, in my book. Tell me, did any of the dishes strike you as particularly enjoyable? The first stimulated me in a most pleasing fashion. How was this flavor derived? That was flavored with local ingredients harvested by Halo, garnished with powdered miracle shrimp, a type of crustacean the Grebulovs are farming in Elysion. Pulverized crustaceans. The nature of gustatory sensations is inscrutable indeed. That we found these ones pleasing perhaps indicates that we too once consumed mutilated decapods. I can't imagine why we would have left that behind. I am grateful to have even simulated the experience. And there we have it. Do you think this will be enough to bring about more changes to Elysion? Inconclusive. This unit proposes that allied units ascend to scan for signs of change. Stigma 4 confirms that alterations have occurred. Let us proceed with the scan. These creatures certainly haven't been here before, but what are they? They put me in mind of a Theris jellyfish. No results found in database. Furthermore, these life forms differ from the simulations in Ultima Full on a molecular level. And Callie gets to bark at the neighbor's dog. You mean a new species has been born here? Is it so illogical? Elysion's climate is suitable for the growth of complex vegetation, and a significant portion of its surface is occupied by sea. Many life forms have arisen from similar conditions. Similar environments. This unit would venture that under these conditions, the A's yearning for a corporeal past were sufficient to cause Dynamis to coalesce as organic life. That's incredible. New life. Me, burble. And such very adorable life you are. Yes, you are. Like unto newborn babies, or so I assume. Eons have passed since we A have held a child. Yes, it is not conceivable that some part of us... Yet is it not conceivable that some part of us remembers? If these creatures arose from our fondness for the past, they may indeed be the nascent forms mentioned in our ancient records. Oh, they're A babies. I do see a certain resemblance. Would you like to give these little ones a name then? We lost the meaning of our names long ago, leaving us only the simple phonemic systems we now employ for individuals. The suggestion that we might impart the significance of these children to via nomenclature is depressingly ludicrous. Nevertheless, we shall call them Mew-Meaths, whatever. A peculiar name to share, perhaps, but one we find the meaning. One we may find the meaning in together. I cannot spell that to save my life, but it sounds lovely. I should like to remain with the whatever they are for a time. They doubtless know much of gustatory sensation and other such facets of corporeality. Serving as their guardians, we may yet reclaim some of what was lost. New life has arisen from the A's longing. Nurture and protect the whatever they are, for they have much to share. There is yet room for Elysion to grow and change. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? It will be a great deal more difficult to focus with those creatures about. They're so wibbly-wobbly. This unit requests that you contain yourself. Energy levels are already low due to patrons' ceaseless querying. However, this unit does admit to curiosity regarding the new life forms. Though it is probable that the whatever they are shared data with the A's genetic memory, possibility for their development are infinite. This differentiates them from other Dynamis-based life forms. Or maybe they're just one more indication that you lot aren't doomed after all. This place was built for endings, it's true, but we've seen many a beginning. Let's keep that trend going, shall we? Affirmative. Our mission remains one constant among many variables. Oh, I should have picked up some missions from bunnies yesterday. Oh well. Let's see where you are in reputation. Let's fix these. Okay, so you have 1 or 2 minor levels with the Loperates, and you have 2 or 3 more with the Omicrons. Okay.